everybody. Showtime! Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so here we are, everybody. I'm still waiting for my co-host, as you can see. Now, I don't know if this new thing is going to work on me for God knows, I don't know. But I'm going to try it out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to find out as soon as she gets on here. I'm a stickler for time. Time. Look at y'all. Tamara, Debbie, Silver Fox, Annette, Gary, Stacy. Oh, you aren't a hairy ape. Oh my gosh. Felsie, my darling. Captain, Random Life, Red. Just back. Hello, Janice. So I'm waiting for my co-host, which I don't know what happened to her. But we will do the best we can until she gets here. That's all I can do. Mindy, Farah, IBL, Cynthia, how y'all doing today? Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. You know what I did last night? I promised myself that I was not going to do. Good morning, Gay. Abigail. Can y'all see her picture okay? On here, Miss Meryl Streep. She's so cool. Mel, hello. I promised myself that I was not going to do any kind of drama last night, so I did not. Actually, what I did was I went on, listen to me. Now, does this make any sense? I got off of YouTube and I actually went in and I watched Dateline on MSNBC. Now, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Oh my gosh. But yeah, I did. His poor guy got life for supposedly pushing his wife over a cliff. It's pretty sad. Shell, Marytown, how are y'all doing? Yeah. I like Dateline too. I really do. And the thing is, yeah, I love Dateline. The thing is, I just needed to take a break. I didn't go in anybody's streams last night. I thought, nope, I'm not doing it. Wait, I went to a stream that was not drama. Whose was it? I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, tell Steve hello. Hello. And, you know, yeah, I went and saw Dateline. Of course, on Saturday nights, MSNBC, it's all Dateline on there. And then I watched Live PD. Let me see. Oh, good. I'm glad she did, Stacy. Good. I'm glad she did. Hi, little Rosie. Hi, Grandpa Jay. Good. I'm glad she did. I love me some Rebecca, that's for sure. And her sister's a sweetheart. Let me see. And I got on here this morning and I worked with this program a little bit, tried to get it kind of tweaked a little bit. And you're doing a karaoke night week, 9:30 on Saturday night, UK. I'm just going to sing and see who comes in. That would be awesome. Hey, Steve. Hello, Evermore. Grandpa Jay. Well, yeah, that's awesome that you're going to be doing that, Gail. I think you'll get some people in there. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm going to work on a few different things too. Hi, Carrie. How you doing, hon? Lavender says, laying down and watching, I fell down my stairs and twisted my back. I'm okay, but just relaxing. What in the hell are you doing falling down your stairs, Lavender? Wow, I hope you're okay. Hi, hippie Mandy, hon. Well, let me know, Gail, when you do that. That sounds great. Stacy, you little stinker. So, okay, so we got some things going, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but little Rosie and I got some stuff going. Here's why I'm not going to say too much. Because, and I guess you need to take it as a compliment when people copy your stuff. When people do what you're doing because they think it's cool, I think you just got to accept it as a compliment. And that's what I told little Rosie, because she got kind of upset over something, but I told her, let's not worry about it. We'll just make it better. And we're going to call it. And this is where, do I have chaos? Is my little chaos in here? I got a job for chaos. She said she'd help me with anything. I got a little job for chaos. So what little Rosie and I are going to do, yes, imitation is flattery. Absolutely, little Rosie. So little Rosie and I are going to have a Lucy and Ethel hour. Yeah. Oh, shit, it's okay, Captain. I'll get a hold of her lady, babe. I'll get a hold of her later. Hey!
Hello. Hi.
You're here.
Hello.
There's pretty Julianne.
I can't, all I see is your picture.
Oh.
Your old lady picture, I mean, not the pretty you.
Well, okay, can you get on to your YouTube?
I can
see me there.
I can see you. All right, I can see you from the side. All right, how's it going? How are you?
I am in my other program. So what I'm doing is if you can see me on YouTube, I've got you sitting right next to me.
All right.
I have can you see that?
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to. My internet is super slow, and I'm just trying to pull you up. There we go.
And I've got a picture of Meryl Streep on there.
It's so pretty.
Yes, 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 yes. And so that's what I've been working on today. So we're actually in good shape today.
That's great. This is so exciting. Hi, Tamara. Hi, everybody.
I know, she's got the prettiest hair, doesn't she?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
it. Yep. So we got a lot going on today, folks.
Holy cow. Yeah, Meryl Streep, you could talk about her for weeks and weeks.
I know it. Hey, you know what? I went and looked at every movie she's ever done.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you ever find out does anybody know what the first movie Meryl Streep ever did?
I do. No, we want to do trivia, or what do we want to do?
You go ahead. I was just wondering.
No, I know. Actually, that's a really good question. I'd love to see if other people know it. Does anybody know? Oh, Captain, that was her second one.
Remember her for years and years.
Yeah, that's the first one. Deer Hunter was the first one she won an Oscar for. Ever. That was in 1979.
Kramer.
She did one. Kramer was the one after that. Oh, sorry. Deer Hunter was her first nomination. Kramer versus Kramer came after. That was the first movie I ever saw her in. That was 1979.
Was and
Kramer versus Kramer with Dustin Hoffman.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So was that her very first movie?
No, she did a movie before then. She actually started in, well, you can tell, the ones that are really good start in theater. She started in theater. She's originally she wanted to be an opera singer.
Oh,
she has
really?
a lot of, she has a lot of training in music. She went to Vassar College, and then she got her Master of Fine Arts at Yale.
Wow.
And Yeah, she did a whole lot of training, and you can really tell.
And she
Because it's gonna
wanted to be an opera singer.
that was her initial drive. That was what she first wanted to be. Now, there's a rumor, I don't know it's true because I've never been able to verify it, that she had originally applied to law school, but she slept in and missed her interview and felt like there's something else for her out there. So it could be, it could not be, I don't know.
So okay, so what that's very unusual. I mean, I
What's
well
that?
not that I shouldn't say that's unusual that she wanted to be in a lawyer, but
Yeah,
what made her head towards
well, that's what I'm saying. I can't verify that one.
okay.
So it's one of those factoids that's been going around. Although I can say, as someone who spent her life in the theater originally, the law was something I was drawn to as well. I can say that Meryl Streep was very politically inclined. She really does want to. She's involved in a lot of charities.
Mm-hmm.
She does do a lot of work for organizations. So I think justice to her is very important. And I think that comes out in the work that she does as well, because a lot of her roles she's known for are roles where she's playing real life people, women who struggle.
Right.
So I think we really see that in a lot of her work. So
Somebody wants to know if the French lieutenant's woman was her first.
no, her very first film was called Julia in 1977, and it
Oh,
was
Mindy, good
yes,
one.
and it was about. Oh, did somebody get it?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
Mindy
missing
got
that.
it.
Oh, good! Yay, that's great. And yeah, that was in 1977, and that was opposite Jane Fonda, and that was a movie about the playwright Lillian Helmland.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that was her very first film, right? And then after that, she did The Deer Hunter, and
Okay.
she was nominated for an Oscar for that one.
Now, has she ever won an Oscar?
She has won. Okay, now this is the big buzz with this one, with the Post, the upcoming Oscars that she's doing now. She has broken the record now for nominations. She is at her 21st nomination. She has won 3 Oscars. She is. Let me see. I want to make sure I get the stats right. Sorry, we need a little interlude.
Fine.
Interlude music. Okay. All right. So yes, with the Post with Tom Hanks. Oh, and this is the first time she's ever she's worked with a bazillion people.
Yeah.
This is the first time she's ever worked with Tom Hanks. Was in the Post.
Really?
Yeah, that's so strange because
I'm sitting here looking at. Wow, this is not even pulling up. See, I'm looking at everything that she's ever done on here.
If you just go to her IMDb page, you have to gather provisions because her list is so long. It goes on. And the thing is, in her IMDb list, things that aren't included are all of her theater. She's done some Broadway work. She's done a lot more TV that's listed. Not everything that is done is listed on IMDb. It's only things that are submitted to IMDb. So
somebody was just asking what the one was on the about the lion. Is that the one?
About the lion?
See. What's the name of the one in Australia?
Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
Because I couldn't find it either.
In Australia?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the one in Australia because the accent was perfect. Far, far away set.
Because she did do a political thriller with Tom Cruise. That was Lion was in the title, but no.
Out of Africa.
Okay. Out of Africa. Oh, that one with Robert Redford. Okay, yes. We can go through because Kramer versus Kramer was where she really got recognized. Even though The Deer Hunter, she got the Oscar nomination. A lot of people talked about that film because the character was supposed to be this woman fighting for her child in the divorce, right? With Dustin Hoffman.
Right.
And what was happening, the difference between what was in the script and the subtext that she brought to it through her acting, that's what caught critics' attention. She brought to it this strength and this the duality that is life. You're not all good and you're not all bad. And that really wasn't written into the original script. And she just brought that naturally through her incredible talent. It came out, and if you watch the film, you can really see it.
Right.
That's really got her recognized that way. Yeah, after she did Kramer versus Kramer, then she did Sophie's Choice, which is another very moving, thought-provoking, political film. You know, she's a concentration camp survivor. But yeah, I mean, talk about heavy.
You know, I can't imagine. Stacy, yes, Julianne is an actress.
Well,
and an artist.
I started in theater. Actually, when you go to my page on YouTube, it's not full, but in the playlist, if you go to my playlist, there's a bunch of things that are listed in it. It's not just acting. I started doing cinematography. I was the one who filmed the movies. I was the DOP for films. So I shot several feature films and several shorts, but I was the camera. I was the person who designed the shots and filmed it.
Very talented young lady up here with me today.
Well, I appreciate that. But quite honestly, I have no training in it. I don't think I was meant to be a cinematographer by any means. It was a friend of mine. I do photography. Cinematography is an entirely different art form. And this friend of mine needed help. The person that he got, super nice guy, but maybe the eye wasn't as great as he had originally thought. So he asked me to do the filming, and I said, "What are you talking about, Dave? I haven't filmed anything." And he said, "Look, I'll walk you through it. You have a good eye. This is a very static picture." It was a B movie called Attack of the Gorilla, and it's black and white film. A lot of clips back to old movies. It's super cheesy, and it's hilarious. If you're into that kind of thing, the B film, it was a lot of fun to make. It was a lot of fun to watch, but it's no great it's no great art picture. You know, it's not meant to be. It's meant to be fun. So cool. That was the first one I ever did. Then I shot some shorts, and then I did I did another feature film with this friend of mine. He passed away, and it was through, he was very young, and we were all pretty shocked. But it was through, hi, Tammy. Oh, I didn't say hi. Hi, Tammy. I love you, sweetheart. It was through film work that I met my partner, and then he had a company, and we ended up working together, and I became part of the company. So indie film work is making your own work. It's creating your own work, which, going back to Meryl Streep, I really believe she's somebody she seeks out. She does. She seeks out her work.
Bridges of Madison County. Now, my sis came in to join the chat, and that is one of her favorite movies, Bridges of Madison County.
It did very well at the box office. Yeah, as people know, it was a very well-selling book beforehand, and it broke what they expected it to make at the box office. Not surprisingly.
Okay, so now, how old is Meryl Streep? Where was she born at?
She was born in New Jersey. Her birthday is June 22nd, and she was born in 1949.
Wow.
She has 3 daughters and 1 son. So, and she's married to the same person she has been the whole time. He's actually a sculptor.
Really? So she's 69 years old.
Yes, and which is amazing to me that they've been together all this time. I love it.
Yeah.
His name, I just want to make sure, his last name is Gummer, but he's a professional sculptor. And I know her daughter does acting. One of her daughters is an actress and has done a couple of films with her.
Really?
Yeah. I just want to make sure I get her name right. Mamie Gummer, and she was in Ricky and the Flash.
Yes.
And she also played with her and Jack Nicholson did a film a long time ago.
It was called, what was
Called
it called?
Heartburn. It was
Heartburn?
called, yes,
Okay.
this was early. This
I
was,
was thinking
they've
it was
done it.
called Complicated, but that was with somebody else.
It's complicated. That was with Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin. That came a lot later. She's known for, this woman, she can do drama, she can do comedy. She's very versatile, but it was a smaller picture called Heartburn, and her daughter was still just a baby in it, and her daughter played her daughter in the film. So
I'll be darned.
yeah, so fun little factoid there.
So how many kids does she have? She has what?
4.
4 kids. All
Yeah,
daughters?
no, she has one son. He was the first one. He was born in 1979, and she has 3 daughters.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I know, incredible. And she's worked, like, she averages 2 to 3 movies a year. So
where does she get her energy?
God, I wish I knew. And she just looks so healthy, and she's beautiful, and she's not somebody who's an advocate of plastic surgery, which you can tell because anything she's had done is very minimal. She doesn't look plastic, which I like. She looks like she looks real. To me, she's very classy. I find her, someone you'd really want to be.
Right. So
strive to be.
So I wonder how much time she puts into each one of her characters.
Well, I think that, yeah, I totally agree. And from what I've read about her on the set, she's somebody who's known for staying in character on the set. So if her characters are kind of fun and whimsical, and the movie is fun and whimsical, she's known to be very, in real life, funny, jovial. She's very maternal. But if her character is serious, she'll warn her co-actors ahead of time. I might be a little aloof. I might be a little bit standoffish, and it has nothing to do with you. I just like to stay in character.
You know what? That sounds kind of, I would say that would help her.
Absolutely. And I think most people who act will do the same. It's not uncommon. As far as how much time you have, it depends on how much time you have to actually shoot the film, because some films are shot over a couple of weeks, and some films are shot over several months. So how much time do you have beforehand? How much time do you have in between shoots? She's been known to go from project to project to project. So that can affect how much time she can actually research or put into a character.
Right.
Like anybody.
Now, your sweetie just said The River Wild proved to me she could do action adventure. That was one of my favorite movies.
And that was, yes, absolutely.
Physically demanding for her.
It is. She had to act while she was river rafting. That was, you don't see a lot of action stars become drama stars and drama stars become action stars. This was definitely a breakaway for her. That was pivotal in her career. So absolutely. It was the same with, she did a movie called Music of the Heart in 1999. She had to, she has a long background in music, but she had to learn how to play the violin for that movie.
What?
So yeah, so she studied like 6 hours a day, and so she was able to play the violin for this movie.
What was the name of the movie?
It's called Music of the Heart, and it's 1990. Yeah,
I gotta write this down.
It's a good one. She plays a school teacher fighting to teach underprivileged kids.
Music of the Heart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I lost my purple pen. What did I do with it? Let me get a new one. Thank you. It's Passions of the Heart.
Yeah, so this is it's just something she's known to do. She's not afraid of things. She did a couple of films when some like film noir type films where they didn't use her to a full extent when she was younger, and she came across she didn't like it. She wasn't having fun. It was one of those movies where the whole character was how the light caught her hair and all that sort of thing, and that's not her. We all know she's 10 times better than that.
Right. So have you heard any rumors about if she's hard to work with?
From what I have heard, no. From what I have heard, she's extremely professional. She's very kind, very caring. She's a lot of fun. What people don't know about her is what everybody has said that I've watched or heard is that she has a really good sense of humor.
Really?
Yeah, and she's done a lot of comedies, and you can't really pull off a comedy if you don't have a sense of humor.
Right.
And she's done really well in the comedy genre. So,
Well, there
I
was
think
a movie in here that I was looking at that I had not
okay,
watched,
okay,
and it was called Into the Woods.
okay. Into the Woods is one of my favorites because it's based on a Stephen Sondheim play, and it's a Broadway musical.
It
It
is.
di- it is, and now I did that show twice. When I
Oh,
was doing theater, and I did Little Red Riding Hood character, and for one, and I did makeup and some other things for the other time I did it.
wow.
This is exactly what she should be doing. She loves music. You can tell she loves music. Um, she's a character actress. This is what she wanted to be. She wanted to be not just a leading lady or a second person who plays the best friend. Character acting is super hard, but it's also something that can give you an out. When you're a woman in Hollywood and as you age, it's extremely difficult to get roles.
Wow.
And being known as a character actress is a great way to get an out and to keep getting more roles. You're going to keep getting work. So this is something she's embraced and she's known for. And her witch character in Into the Woods is a perfect example of that, her character acting.
Okay, so here's two movies. I think the one we were
Okay.
talking about earlier is Lion Lambs,
Yes.
and that's the one in
Okay.
2007 with Tom Cruise and Robert Redford.
Yes, that
That's a
was
good movie.
it was a political thriller war flick. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Uh, but Robert Redford, of course, he's amazing in his own right.
Right. And then the
Uh,
other one is 1984,
mhm.
Falling in Love,
Falling in 1984.
with Robert De
I didn't.
Niro.
Oh yes, yes, of course, right.
Yeah, I'm
It
gonna
was
write that
actually
down too.
it was actually Robert De Niro who discovered her to
What?
play. Yeah, in what he was known to go to theaters and plays and find people and look for people, and he found her in a role in some small role in a theater one summer when he was scouting out new actors, and he asked her to come and play this role in The Deer Hunter. So
Oh my gosh! And he found her.
he was one. Yeah, he was
He,
influential. He
yes.
didn't discover her, but he was
No, but
influential in getting her some roles. Yeah, yeah.
wow.
So this is it. I don't think it matters what business you're in. It's all who you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
She has proven, and who was it that just said in here? Um,
I'm sorry, I'm not really keeping up with the
that's
chat. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tamara said it's still difficult for older women to get roles. Seems like it's better now than ever before, though.
Absolutely, Tamara. Let me tell you something. And that's not, it's harder when you're younger too, unless you're absolutely gorgeous with perky boobs and you're a fantastic, amazing actress on top of it. Even then, getting roles is hard. This is where her training comes in. You can see she shines, she stands above everybody else. So,
Yeah, she's, in my opinion, she is one of the all-time greats.
oh,
You
yeah,
know, there'll never
without a
be.
doubt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's
Yeah.
been going strong for, gosh, what was it? 1977 was her first movie.
Yes, yes,
So shoot, she's been going strong for 40 years,
she has.
41 years.
Yeah, hardcore. And I don't see her stopping anytime soon.
Wow,
I
amazing.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would want to see her stop. She's somebody along with there's maybe one or two that if I know she's in it, they have my money. I will go to see her. So
Yeah, exactly.
even if the movie sucks, she's good. She
Right.
always stands out. Like if the movie didn't do well, like anybody who saw Florence Foster Jenkins, which was
Oh yeah, I did. Yep.
yes, and the movie didn't do as well. It's
Mm-mm.
hard to do a good movie based on a not so good character because this woman was known, right, for not singing well.
Oh, that would have to have been hard for her. Have you ever
Yeah,
tried to
yeah.
sing off key?
You have to be able to sing off key.
Yes.
Honestly, you do. And I sang 20 years ago. I sang. I used to do it when I went to one of those high schools where you had to audition to get in. So we did theater and dance and music and all that stuff. And I sang way back then. That was when I did musical theater as well. Now I haven't sang in it's hell to even get me to do karaoke now. Richard can tell you that. So
Tammy wants to know, ask Julianne if she has seen Dancing in Luganasa.
Yes, that one was also based on a play.
Wow.
That's was done. Yes, she did that in 1996. 97. It was based on a Tony Award-winning play. It did very well.
And what's it about?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know all of it.
Okay.
It is on IMDb. I remember seeing parts of it, but I was not familiar with that one.
Wow.
Did somebody I'm sorry, who was it that asked about that?
It was Tammy Sue.
Okay, Tammy Sue. So okay, she loves it. That was her favorite. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? The ones that are based on plays, the ones that are based on musicals, generally, either you love them or you hate them. Four Irish Sisters. Tammy Sue sang about four Irish sisters. Okay. All right.
Got it.
So
boy, there's a lot of people are just throwing out these movies here in the chat that they love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty said she was very eccentric in that one that you were talking about, the movie that you were talking about, the lady that couldn't sing. Florence
Foster Jenkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was. She's very eccentric. Now, something Meryl Streep does as well as an actress that a lot of people, even I have a hard time doing, very hard. A lot of people, you can see them, they bring themselves out in the role. I was taught that when I was younger. It doesn't matter what role you play, 80% of the character is still you because you're human. It's your body, right? So your mannerisms will come out, little glitches or twitches. She has this unique ability to even stop that, like her glitches and her twitches. She puts it completely on hold.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something that comes with mastering a lot of physical work, doing work with the body. When you take classes in acting, it's very physical. You have to. Your body is your instrument. And Meryl's instrument is well tuned. She knows very well what she's doing.
Wow.
I think more than other people. Yes.
Awesome. I just love her. I could watch her all day long.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, one of my favorite movies to this day that she's ever done is Doubt. She got a couple of nominations for that one as well. It was with Seymour Hoffman and Amy Adams. She played a nun in a convent.
I think I saw part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very moving. But the minute you see it, you in your head, you know it's a play. You know it was based on a play. It's small. There are only a few. It's not a whole lot of sets. There are very few characters, but the ones who are there stand out. And I loved Philip Seymour Hoffman. I was a huge I still am. I wish he was still with us. I think he was a fantastic actor. And watching the two of them play off of each other, especially the scenes where they're in the room together, they're discussing the topic of the potential abuse, but not really. It's magical. I don't know any other word for it. It leaves me in awe every time I watch it. Just watching her eye movements, watching her body movements. I wish I could do things like that.
I would like to sit down and visit with that woman just all day long.
She looks to me like she'd be a lot of fun. When you see her at award shows, she's laughing at herself. She's, when people crack jokes about her, she looks like she's having a good time. But then when she gets up to give a speech, like she got the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes this last year. And she gave a wonderful speech. And it wasn't just funny. She was able to talk about, put some of her political views in there without being, really controversial. I know Donald Trump didn't like it, but ooh, big shocker.
Right.
But she's able to get up and be herself. To me, she looks like a lot of fun. I remember saying that to my mom when I was a teenager. She looks like somebody you'd want to hang out with. Like you'd want to be friends with her.
Exactly.
Just for who she
Go
is.
have a cup of coffee, go to a bar,
Yeah.
have a cocktail with her,
Yeah.
Just visit with her.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
where does she live? Does she live in California or?
She lives in LA. That's where her main home is. That was something that she talked about when she started doing movies in LA. A lot of her movies where she started, she had to travel. She had to travel to all different countries. And when she came back and started doing movies more in LA, she says, I understand now why people make movies here. It's really beautiful. The weather is always nice. And then you get to go home at night as well. Doing movies in different locations, I've done a few of them, and it is a lot harder. You're staying in hotels or cottages or strange places. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
So being able to go home, there's something really nice about that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I understood what she was saying, for sure.
So are we ready to do some trivia, or
sure? If we want to.
You guys ready for some trivia?
I just thought we'd do some general movie trivia. I can talk a little bit if you want. We've got some little Meryl facts that I have. Some interesting factoids.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, let me just pull that sucker up there. Some of them we've already talked about. But let's see what else we've got here. She's done a couple of voiceovers as well, right? She was in The Ant Bully. She played the mother in The Ant Bully. And then, I was just looking at Julie and Julia, where she played
Julia the cook?
Julia Child, where she played Julia Child. That was another one. She got another Oscar nomination, of course. She was so much fun in that movie, so uplifting. She said, now that's an interesting fact, she gained 15 pounds doing that movie.
No kidding.
She had to eat so much food, but she also said she became a much better cook. I would hope so. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see some facts. I don't know. Yeah, her salary has certainly changed for what she's earned. In The Deer Hunter, this is an interesting fact. Like for The Deer Hunter, she only earned $35,000. That was in 1978. And then we can look up to Into the Woods, where she was paid $1.5 million.
Holy Hannah, what's the year difference in that?
Yeah, so 78 to 2014.
Wow.
So now, but now in It's Complicated, she got $7.5 million for It's Complicated. That was with Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin. So The Devil Wears Prada was also a huge box office hit, and that she got $5 million for that one. So it, I guess this depending on studios. And
that's kind of one of my favorites too that she did.
Yeah, that one did well. I think better even than people had expected on that one. Box office. All right, let's see what we have here. Interesting Meryl facts. I mean, aside from her being awesome. All right. So, she has a fear of helicopters.
What?
I know. It's amazing. I don't know. She doesn't strike me as somebody who has a whole lot of fears, but she's afraid of helicopters. She won't do anything she has to do in a movie. That's something she hasn't quite overcome yet for movies.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's getting there, but so she did work her way. She did do some work as a waitress while she was doing theater, which is super common. The struggling actress working as a waitress. She was also a cheerleader and a homecoming queen at her high school, so she was the popular girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, Music of the Heart, the one where she had to learn to play the violin and played the teacher.
Right.
She replaced Madonna. Madonna was originally cast for that. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But it's such a difference.
It is like night and day, right?
Don't get me wrong. I was born in 75, so I liked Madonna, but I'll take Meryl Streep. If you're gonna give me that much of my money, yeah. No. Oh, please.
That's funny.
Oh,
Julianne.
okay. Ugh.
Oh, that's
Hollywood.
funny.
Hollywood is so bizarre. Oh, and I don't know if you remember, Anne Margaret did a TV
Oh,
version
yeah.
of Streetcar Named Desire with Tennessee Williams. But Tennessee Williams had originally wanted Meryl Streep for a movie version of that, but she wasn't available. So that's when they gave it to Anne Margaret and changed it into a television series.
Wow.
Oh, and I love this movie, The Minority Report with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's a fun movie. There is a woman at the end who plays, she's like the mother of the crime unit at the very end. Her name is Lois Smith. She comes out, she's the woman with all the plants. I don't know if you remember at the end. Yeah, what do they call it? The mother of the cyber crime unit or whatever. That was originally supposed to be given to Meryl Streep. So she was supposed to be in the Minority Report and was unavailable. She went to school with Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, really?
As well. Yeah, there's quite a few people. I had a teacher actually who went to Yale Drama School as well. Everybody seems to go there. Not everybody does a lot with it, but it's very popular. And the two of them together did a play called The Frogs, and it was in a swimming pool.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, the things you do for your craft, I tell you.
My gosh.
Wear a bathing suit in front of all sorts of people. But of course, they were young and cute, so what are you going to...
My gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. She also worked with Christopher Lloyd. He went at the Yale Repertory Theater. So the two of them, did some work together. Now, according to Katharine Hepburn is not a fan. Katharine Hepburn is not a fan of Meryl Streep, or was not a fan of Meryl Streep. I know. Katharine Hepburn was known to be a little curmudgeon-y.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she never ever showed up to the Oscars, ever. She was known for that, right?
Really?
Even if she was nominated. And she just snubbed it all off. Don't get me wrong, great actress. I love watching her, but in real life, that's how she was.
Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, and what she was known to say, Katharine Hepburn's official biographer wrote about it and said that Meryl Streep was her least favorite modern actress on screen. Click, 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 she said, referring to the wheels turning inside Meryl Streep's head. So I don't know what Katharine Hepburn saw that we didn't, but
wow.
She was not. Yeah,
you think maybe it was a little bit jealousy?
You know, it's funny you say that because, of course, to me, I look at her and go, "Holy cow! You wish you could be half as good as that." And that's what I thought too. But Katharine Hepburn, I don't know. You can't love everybody. Everybody can't love everybody. So I have to. I don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Hey, make sure you all sub to Julianne's channel.
Yeah, and people have been, I appreciate that. People have been asking as well about some of my stuff because what's on there are some shorts, but if you go into the playlist, that's where everything else that's on there, everything that's in the playlist, if I'm not in it, it's because I did the cinematography for it or did writing for it or directed it or something that way. And it's not all for Eagle Wolf Productions. When you do indie film, you work with tons of other people and other people's productions and that sort of thing. So
she is a sweet soul, this little gal right here. I'm fond of her. Very fond of her. So make sure you sub to her for me.
Make me cry, y'all.
Oh, big crybaby.
I know I am. It's so funny. I used to be so tough, and I feel like such a wuss these days.
So sweet. I just love you.
I used to. Oh well, the feeling is mutual. Let's see what else we can find out about. Let's see other interesting facts. Yes. And anybody who wants to shoot out some of their favorite Meryl Streep movies, I'd love to see what you all think. Oh, Captain. I love you, Captain. You're my next ex-husband, I hope.
Hey,
I do. I love that man. I have to say, I have a bit of a YouTube crush on the captain.
Captain
Little
Buford
YouTube.
is a little shit. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you.
I don't doubt it. That's why I love him. He's awesome. Yeah.
Hi,
All right.
Rebecca. How are you, honey? Happy birthday weekend. Hang on a minute, Julia.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday, dear Rebecca. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Woo!
Rebecca.
Sorry, I didn't want to keep singing. You're
Oh,
a much
you're
better singer
fine.
than me.
You're
No,
fine,
Rebecca,
honey.
happy birthday. That's wonderful. So Shell says that Deborah Wears Prada is her favorite ever. Yeah, I'll tell you. That was the movie that she talked about being very standoffish with Anne Hathaway ahead of time. Anne Hathaway also went to Vassar as well.
Now,
so the two of them had something in common.
Did they get along in real life, Anne Hathaway and her?
From what I understand, the PR is yes. I think the reason it came across like maybe they didn't is because of her character.
Okay.
Her character in the film, this is something that gets distorted, and just from my limited experience working in film, I can say it's easy to get distorted. If you have to play a character, you're going to stay in that character. And hers was very standoffish and bitchy and mean and powerful. And people can take it that way, that maybe she was like that in real life. But I don't think she's like that at all.
But, I can understand getting into a character and keeping yourself there all day long. How can you switch it off and on like that? I mean, it'd be hard to do.
It is hard to do. I've had some roles. There are some roles, and I know Meryl Streep and other actresses talk about it the same way. They're very personal, but it's also something. It's a great way to deal with them if your mind is right and you can maintain a balance where you can put yourself method acting. You can put yourself in that role using experiences in your life. And then you have the balance and the ability to do things to get yourself out of the character enough. You've got to get your mind right. You can't go back. You can't do a job for somebody. This is work. She takes it very seriously. I take my job seriously. You can't perform well if you're not well yourself and balanced. So I think this is something I look to her, someone like her, for, who does it all the time, who does heavy roles and funny roles, and she still maintains a balance. I think that's very important. And I think you can use that in everyday life.
Well, say, for instance, let's take you. How long does it take you when you know you're going to shoot something like, let's say, tomorrow? How long does it take you to mentally get into that character?
Completely depends on the character. I've had roles that are very serious. We're doing a film right now, a feature film called Soldier in the Barn. This is Eagle Wolf's next production. And we're in the middle of production right now. We have a couple more scenes to shoot in the spring, and then we'll be in post-production. I had to play a woman who loses her husband in the war. So there's scenes where it's very heavy. We get, the people coming up telling us, coming to the door, the announcement scene where the soldiers are coming to the door to tell you that you've lost your husband. You have a young son who looks up to his father, who loves his father very much, these sorts of things. That particular day, I was very anxious. I was crabby. My son was on set that day as well. And I think even, God, poor Richard, he puts up with so much. I'm very moody. That day, I had to make sure I was able to balance being a person and being that character. But I have to say, I felt icky all day. You do feel kind of icky. Now, there's some characters you don't have to do very much. You can. She's done a lot of comedies. She said, for example, she did with Jim. She worked with Jim Carrey on one film, and she said she just had a blast, And the hardest thing for her, during the whole film was to not laugh during filming, like during the actual screening.
That would be hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it depends on the film. I've done some comedies. I've done some really cheesy B movies, which are hilarious. And then you do really serious films. It also depends on how much time I have. I've been asked to come. Can you look? We need a fill-in to play the mother of this for a day. Okay, so for that, it doesn't take me very long. I look at the script, I learn the lines, I know a little bit about the character. But if you're a full character or a full supporting character, then you need to. I will sit back and I will create the entire backstory for my character.
Okay, Captain wants to know if
Yes.
you are strictly a method actress.
No, not completely. Not completely. I use it when it works. I use it when it works for me. It depends on, there's some things that I do, I don't need to method act. There's some things where you can employ very kind of mediocre tactics, and it's fine. I am not in an arena where people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to have our films made or anything. Our budgets are between $10,000 to $20,000 for a feature film. That's about our budget. Yeah, well, but I can also say we do a lot of fundraising.
Indie film. Of money.
It is. Indie film is fundraising. It's finding backers. It's finding producers. It's finding people who believe in your work. And it's also about people who will come out and volunteer your time and helping each other. Indie film is the complete opposite of something like what Meryl Streep does. They have bazillions of dollars. They can do whatever they want with it. We often talk, my husband and I talk about having an unlimited budget and how amazing what we could do with an unlimited budget.
Exactly.
It would be fantastic. So. Okay. Oh, is Tammy going? Oh, Tammy. Okay, get some rest, girl. I love you.
Bye-bye, Tammy. Thank you. I'm selling my body to pay for it. Any takers slightly used, Richard said. Hi, Becky.
We can't have nice things. We just can't have nice things.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't take him in.
You can't let him out very often, can you?
Oh, the smile. If you all could see the smile on his face right now.
Richard, behave yourself.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. I'll tell you something about Richard. This man is an incredible writer. And finding really good writers is harder than you'd think. Especially for indie film. So.
It really is a tough job, isn't it?
It's exhausting. It's easy to do 12, 14-hour days and then the driving on top of it, and you come home and you collapse. But generally you're happy. It's a very satisfying day. We'll go weeks or months at a time where it's just day after day after day after day. And then we'll have a nice long break in between. So it just depends on what you're doing.
Right.
Captain Buford raised his hand. You can write. You know what, Captain? I have no doubt that you can write. And I'm not even close to being joking. I'm sure you can. I would love to read some of the things that you write.
Tammy Sue.
Yeah, she's heading out. Get some rest, Tammy. Yeah. Please. It's addictive. It is addictive. Once you start, if it's something you really love, you don't want to stop.
Right. So. Exactly.
And you don't do it for the money. It's like what you do. You do it because you love it, because you're good at it, because people love watching you, and it's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for the day-to-day life,
I'm sure my sister would attest to that. I don't know if she's still in here or not.
Oh, yeah?
But,
okay.
My sister and I are like night and day.
Oh, okay.
She's like this little 5'3", triathlon type girl that runs and jumps and constantly going. She never sits down for 5 minutes. And
my gosh.
I am 5'6". And I'm locked in the house. I don't go anywhere. And she's constantly asking me to go places. And so when she found out I was doing this every day, she was thrilled because at least I'm doing something, right? But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure if
Well,
she could throw a little hook-on chain over her shoulder and hook up my car, she'd drag me all over if she thought I'd go with her.
yeah, well, people need different things in their lives to fulfill them. Oh, God, I wish I could run. I'm
Me
not a
too.
runner.
Me too.
I'm just not a runner. 5'3" isn't little. We're averagely yeah, I'm 5'3". Technically, I'm 5'2 3/4", but I always write 5'3" because there's no.
You guys.
I feel like I'm 5'3" in my mind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys are too funny. So, okay. So, what else we got going on here? Oh, come
Uh,
on, guys.
well, what I thought y'all would love to hear is that they're doing another Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins Returns, and Meryl Streep is in that. It's in post
Mary
production.
Poppins
It is.
Returns.
It's in post production right now, and Emily Blunt is the main character. Colin Firth is in it, but and Meryl Streep is one of the main characters. But Angela Lansbury and Dick Van Dyke do make cameos in the film. So
No.
I have to say, seeing Meryl Streep in a Mary Poppins film, I find kind of exciting. I think I will definitely go to see that one.
Oh
so.
my God, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun mashup.
I can't
I
wait.
don't know.
And when did you say this is supposed to be?
Well, it's going to be released I'm pretty sure sometime in 2018. If it is, it would be near the end of the year. But right now it's in post-production. Post-production just means it's at the end where they're finishing up the editing and the music and that sort of thing. So
they're wrapping
it up.
Out. Yeah,
I love Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
I love Emily Blunt too, Captain.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Emily Blunt is awesome. That is so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I think anybody who acts and does movies, or I don't see anybody who would have any problem trying to emulate themselves like Meryl Streep.
You're such a sweetheart. Julianne, what are we going to do next time?
That's a good question. What would you guys all like to do? Do we want to do something different, like sci-fi, or do we want to save horror? I don't know if we want to wait all the way till October. What about you, Uber? What about musicals, or is there something you'd like to do?
You know what? Let's leave it up to the group.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good to me. I think that's what happened last time. So if y'all have suggestions, things you'd like to see.
Bentley, no.
I love hearing your dogs.
He's so ornery.
You know, honestly, one of my favorite things when you're on is when they come back and you can just see his little head peek out from. There he is. There. I love it. Makes my day. I love it. It's the cutest thing ever.
Oh my God. He's something else.
Okay, so we've got one for horror. Yeah, horror. Lady Raven. See, I'm a big horror fan. What else have we got? What other genres? We could do even something like, we can do documentaries, we can do musicals. If there's a certain kind of actor that you would like to do, we can focus on black and white films, a genre like the 40s or the 50s.
Ooh.
Like there's all sorts of things we can. What are some of your favorite movies and genres and actors and things like that? What do you guys like to watch?
So we do have horror.
Okay, we got a couple for horror.
Horror, right.
All right. See, horror I really got into, not so much for the scare factor. What I really got into horror for was the makeup, the movie makeup, and the costuming. A lot of kids when they were younger, when I was about 12, 13, they were walking around with the Teeny Bopper magazines, and I was walking around with like Fangoria and stuff because I like to find out how did they do it.
Good one, Captain. Spencer Tracy.
Yes. See, now that's something we could do as far as we could do that era, even if Spencer Tracy on his own. I don't know how, like, I love Spencer Tracy.
Okay.
But we could do that kind of era. Fantasy. Okay, Corinne put up fantasy. That's a huge genre on its own. Fantasy and sci-fi sort of overlap. We could do kind of a mashup. That could be one. Classics.
Okay. Yeah, we've got WW2 movies, action adventure. Got another one for horror.
Okay, so we've got a couple horror. Horror goes far back.
Some of our
memories due to the actors are trends. Yes, it is. Horror really, you love it or you hate it. It's very emotional. It pulls on some of people's heaviest emotions, which is why I think people have such a strong aversion or love for it. Okay, Felcy says horror as well. Hi, Felcy, by the way.
Okay, kind of looks like it's going to be horror.
And there's another fantasy sci-fi. So what we could do is we could do horror next month, and if people want to do fantasy and a sci-fi, we could do that after.
Okay, so
maybe.
Let's figure this out.
The original Exorcist, yes, Felcy.
Oh my gosh.
The original one. That is my favorite movie of all time, and we can talk about that next time. I totally agree. Oh, okay. Felcy, yes. Love you.
So that would also be on the 4th of March.
We could aim for then, sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. We want to keep doing that, yes? Yeah. Look at later, right? Yeah. The original one. Oh my God. When they did the director's version cut, they just ruined it for me.
Okay, so we're going to do horror and fantasy, you said?
Well, we can do horror. Let's give a whole one to horror.
Okay.
I was just thinking, because we could do fantasy, sci-fi as another genre. And then we could all, and then Captain brought up Spencer Tracy. So we could do like a classics kind of black and white era film.
What was that one in the shower?
Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock and the Birds.
Yeah, I agree, Felcy. Best horror movie ever made. Yeah. Yeah. Christopher Lee as Dracula. Yeah. See, Kitty. Absolutely.
Okay.
So we can do like the timeline of horror is just it's changed, so it's a dramatic timeline.
Awesome, guys. Awesome,
Interview with a Vampire. Yeah, so all right, let's do that next time. And look, if there's stuff in the show that you want to see, you can always Twitter me or Uber and give us suggestions and stuff.
Now that I've got this little venue of this platform that I'm using, I can also play parts of movies. If we're commenting.
Okay. I was wondering about that. If we're commenting. Yeah, I didn't know. I don't want you to get a strike or anything for it. So, okay, that's fine. The original Halloween. Yes, totally the original. I agree.
Oh, look at you guys coming up with all this.
Look at everybody's in it already. Oh, I love it.
Interview with the Vampire, Tamara.
Yeah.
Lady. Woo, yeah. Original Halloween.
Yeah, the original Halloween series. I mean, well, this is where it all starts. I loved Halloween. I was big into Nightmare on Elm Street. I was a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan because I really enjoyed the psychological part of it.
Right.
More than the scary part. And it had a whole nightmare dream component to it. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Insidious, Shell, yes. I'm a big fan of the Insidious series. And actually the director, he's not a horror fan, but he directs those films like he's a horror fan. It's incredible.
Rocky, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was. Rocky, there you go.
That is an oldie but goodie. Yeah.
Now Johnny Depp was in the very first Nightmare on Elm Street. So.
I kind of got into the Saw series.
I love the Saw series, and the people who don't know about it really just think it's a slasher film, and it's not. It is very psychological, which is why I liked it. There's a real story behind it.
Yep. That's true. It's a true story, right?
It's it's based on characters. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on characters. And this is where actually it's funny too, because I studied criminology for years and years, and a lot of the horror movies have some kind of a backstory to some kind of a serial killer or event in history.
Wow.
So that's something we can discuss as well. The Saw movies are amazing. I haven't seen the very last one though. It was just released. I heard it wasn't very good, but I'll watch it anyway.
Wow. Okay.
How about the book No Way Out? I haven't. I have not seen all of that yet. I've seen part of it, and it was a long time ago, Captain. But I have to sit down and watch it again, and I will because you brought it up.
Is that the one where the guy does the room? And he has everybody in this room or this container?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Because I know there was a couple of different versions. But I'm pretty sure that's it.
He tells him that something hit the planet outside.
Right, yes.
And the girl finally gets out and everything's fine. And
Day of the Locust with Donald Sutherland. Oh my God, we're getting way ahead. But yes, I have seen that. Now, horror as a whole B movie genre, and I am a big B movie fan. I just think it's fun. They're hilarious. Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead is B movies, and I think it's hilarious. I love Bruce Campbell. He's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Love Silence of the Lambs, and Rocky's
Yeah.
talking about Children of the Cornfield. Oh my gosh,
Well,
you
see,
guys.
Silence of the Lambs, Children of the Corn, those are all based on books, right? So that's a whole nother part of horror. A lot of things are based on books.
Well,
The House of
guys,
a Thousand
okay.
Corpses. Holy cow. All right,
remember,
so we have a lot to
on
talk
March
about
the
next
4th,
time.
we're going to do horror. So you pick your favorite horror, do your research on it, and then come back on the 4th at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everybody,
all right.
Please
Yay.
sub to this young lady. She is a sweetheart. I love her to death.
Aww.
And make sure you guys sub her. She's a heck of a performer, heck of an actress, heck of an artist, and she's a sweetheart to boot. She's one of my favorites. So I will let you. Do we have anything else to say, sweetie? Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. How about just Meryl rocks, man?
Yeah, I know.
Give it up for Meryl.
Right?
Give it up for Meryl Streep.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I think that's
Richard, and a heck of a kisser, he says. Richard, the old dog. Blame you. Okay,
man.
y'all. Well, okay. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Love y'all. And hang on here, Julianne. We'll get this going.